I'm Jinx from League of Legends.
And I'm Nidalee from League of Legends.
I'm cosplaying Prince of Persia from the 2008 version, it's the spin-off one.
Because Jinx is crazy and fun and I love her outfits.
Nidalee is like my favourite character and she's very sexy and I like that.
I love the art style of the game. I know a lot of people say that they find it repetitive or boring or easy, but from an art standpoint I really appreciate the detail that goes into it, the world, the atmosphere, and even in the game itself, the main character and the lady who travels with him, Elika, she's hilarious, she's witty, she's intelligent, she's strong. She's not your typical fallback princess who's just dependent on everyone else. If anything, it's more like you end up dependent on her. One of the key things about the point is that whenever you fall down a gap or something, she'll save you using magic, and I feel like that helps portray more than just the stereotypical kind of video game, and that's kind of why I like it, because it's different.
The Toothless was pretty good just now.
Yeah, that was really good.
And there's an Elizabeth from, is it Elizabeth from Bioshock? I think her outfit has been pretty good.
There was a Super Saiyan wig that I fancied stealing as well, that was pretty cool.
It's a tough choice. There was one guy cosplaying Fallout. That was an incredibly awesome costume. He even had like a lit up quantum cola thing on his hip. That was pretty awesome. There was also Mordecai from Borderlands. You might have seen him walking about, but his is also pretty badass, I have to say.
Yeah,
completely by hand the lot.
I did, yeah. I had to replace the boots because the things I had before were like made out of craft foam and they were total crap. They fell apart in like seconds. But yeah, the majority of it was made. I bought things like the gloves for a template, but everything else you see on the gauntlet, for example, is Warbler, paint, Pebeo, that kind of thing. Same for the belt, that's all craft foam, leatherettes, vinyls, regular cloth, and a ton of paintwork on the back.
For me, probably the bra. I never realised how difficult bras were to make until this cosplay.
For myself, it was my spear. I completely hand carved it and even got a trip to hospital while doing the woods work, so that was fun.
Oh, jeez. It's a mix between either the coat, because of the amount of detail that goes into it, you can kind of see on these panels how much goes in, like, if not the sword, and getting the shape right because it's quite complex.
Many hours. I made the whole costume once, in like really quickly, like a week after she came out to go to an expo, and then completely remade the whole thing properly. So I've actually made it twice.
Mine, due to money restraints, took me from about July to October to complete. So a couple of months really overall.
I started later than I would have liked, but probably a month and a half, 2 months.
About 8 years for me.
This is my first ever cosplay. First convention, first to everything.
Not that long, I will admit. So making them, this is the first one I've ever made. Before that, I just kind of like bought costumes online. I cosplayed as Aizen from Bleach before. But I suppose if you were to take into account that, and I did Alex Mercer from Prototype, maybe a year or two, probably a couple of years.
When my friends found out about MCM and they said, oh, do you want to go? Loads of people cosplay, like dress up as video game characters, which sounded perfect to me. I couldn't imagine anything better. So it was my friends essentially that got me into it.
I saw lots of pictures and thought, you know what, well, let's have a go, let's see if I can do it. And yeah, didn't go too badly.
Being a nerd, I spend a lot of time on the internet, I'll admit, and eventually when you're browsing the internet and you like the kind of things that we do, eventually you happen upon Comic-Con at some point in your lifetime. You hear about it, you get curious, eventually you go. Seems pretty awesome. And then when I went the first time, I wasn't in costume, but but I wanted to be because I saw how much fun everyone else was having, and it's just part of the atmosphere. So yeah, probably the people more than anything.
I'm currently making Headhunter Nidalee and Lunar Goddess Diana at the moment.
I can't quite decide between Katarina and Frost Queen Jana, but I'm sure I'll soon decide.
Oh my god, I have far too many. There's stuff like the Warrior Challenge Mode armor from WoW, there's stuff like Squall from Kingdom Hearts 2, Roy from Fullmetal Alchemist, I think also the male gunslinger from Ion, an MMO.
I'd love to do more Ghana at some point, but the things that have stopped me in my costumes have never been money. It's always been, can I make it? Do I have the body to make it? Because if I wanted to do something, I would just do it over a long time so that I'd have the money for it. So yeah, it's always been the difficulty for me.
If I had anything, I'd love to do Rengar, so make myself a full proper quads, well, legs still up. That would be pretty cool.
Dream costume. That's an interesting one. Probably Jehuti from Zone of the Enders. It's a mecha. Pretty enormous though.